Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Q3 FY22 earnings conference call of Powergrid Infrastructure Investment Trust, hosted by ICICI Securities Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Rahul Modi from ICICI Securities. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Margaret. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the Q3 and 9-month FY22 post-result conference call of Powergrid Infrastructure Investment Trust. We have with us the senior management of PG InvIT, represented by Mrs. Seema Gupta, Non-Executive Chairperson, Mr. A.K. Singhal, Non-Executive Director, Mr. B. Ananta Sarma, Non-Executive Director, Mr. Purushottam Agarwal, Chief Executive Officer, and Mr. Amit Garg, Chief Financial Officer, along with Mr. Sanjay Sharma. I would like to hand over the call to Mrs. Seema Gupta, who will give her initial remarks, post which we can have a Q&A session. Thank you, and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Modi. Good afternoon, everyone. At the outset, I, on behalf of Powergrid Uchahar Transmission Limited, investment manager to PG InvIT, would like to wish you all a very, very happy new year and hope all have been keeping safe. I would also like to thank all the participants for sparing time and joining this call in the midst of a busy result season. But please pardon me for my sore throat, and I'll try to be as audible as possible. And with me today, I have Mr. A.K. Singhal, Director PUTL, Mr. B. Anant Sharma, Director PUTL, Mr. Purushottam Agarwal, CEO PUTL, Mr. Amit Garg, CFO PUTL, and other senior officials. Yesterday, PG InvIT announced its unaudited financial results for the quarter and 9 months ended 31st December 2021, and distribution for the quarter ended 31st December 2021, which have been disclosed on both these stock exchanges. A presentation on Q3 FY22 results for PG InvIT has been uploaded on the website and may please be referred. I do not propose to go through the same slide by slide in the interest of time. PG InvIT currently owns 74% shareholding in each of its 5 power transmission TBCB SPVs in the interstate transmission segment. These 5 SPVs comprises 11 transmission lines with a network of about 3699 circuit kilometers and 3 substations with 6,630 MVA transformation capacity. These assets are fully operational and revenue-generating transmission assets having sound operational track record with high availability and come with a 35-year contract period with advantage of availability-based tariff. The trust has the backing of India's largest and the world's 3rd largest transmission company, that's Powergrid, as its sponsor as well as its project manager. The large pool of sponsors' assets, GI thrust on asset monetization, and debt-funded acquisition strategy of PG InvIT provided distinct advantage. The trust, as stated earlier, aims to provide consistent, stable, and visible returns to its shareholders. After the maiden distribution of rupees 4.50 per unit, which was paid to unit holders in November 21, we have now announced second distribution of rupees 3 per unit, which would be paid during February 2022. The distribution is almost 100% of the NDCF of the trust, in line with our distribution policy and SEBI regulations, which stipulate not less than 90% of the NDCF to be distributed to unit holders. In line with the distribution policy, the distribution shall be declared and made not less than once every quarter. Now I'll touch upon the highlights for the quarter and the 9-month period ended December 31st, 2021. The monthly availability of each of the SPVs during the period April to December 2021 was in excess of target availability. SPV-wise, the average availability for the 9-month period has ranged between 99.32% to 99.99%. This data is on provisional basis as the monthly availability certificate for the period September 21 to December 21 are awaited from the respective RPCs. The operation and maintenance was carried out using safety protocols and no accidents were reported during the quarter. On the financial front, in the current financial year for the quarter ended December 31, 2021, total income on the consolidated basis was about rupees 342.18 crore, which included rupees 334.27 crore of revenue from operations and rupees 7.41 crore of other income. The other income is on account of interest earned on the CLD accounts and surcharge income. Total expenses at the consolidated level stood at about rupees 94.35 crore. The NDCS calculated at SPV level has been provided along with the consolidated financial results disclosed on the exchanges. The cash flows from the SPVs are in the nature of interest income and dividend income. More than 90% of the NDCF of the SPVs has been upstreamed to PG InvIT by December 31, 2021 in line with InvIT regulations and the trust distribution policy. The NDCF of PG InvIT for the quarter ended December 31, 2021 works out to rupees 273.05 crore. We have announced a distribution of rupees 3 per unit, which comprises interest component of rupees 1.99, taxable dividend component of rupees 0.72, exempt dividend component of 0.28, and treasury income component of 0.01 rupees. The total distribution amount works out to approximately 100% of the NDCF at the PG InvIT level, as against at least 90% as stipulated in the regulations and our distribution policy. With this distribution, we have in aggregate paid and announced an aggregate of rupees 7.50 per unit to our unit holders. Currently, PG InvIT has no external borrowing, thereby providing significant headroom for funding future acquisitions entirely through debt. The trust continues to enjoy highest credit ratings, AAA, with stable outlook from all the 3 rating agencies, namely ICRA, CRISIL, and CARE Ratings. Trade receivables as on December 31, 2021 stood at rupees 176.43 crore, equivalent to 49 days of billing. On the outlook front, as informed in the last earnings call, PG InvIT in the current financial year intends to acquire Powergrid remaining 26% stake in Powergrid Vizag Transmission Limited, which is completing 5 years of its commercial operation on January 31, 2022. The acquisition is intended to be completed by March 31, 2022. The acquisition process would include valuation by an independent valuer in accordance with the InvIT regulations and shall be dealt in accordance with the PG InvIT governance framework and the applicable policies, including policy on related party transactions. Further, PG InvIT is also evaluating acquiring additional revenues accruing to the 3 of the SPVs, namely PPTL, PWTL, and PJTL, which have been approved by the CRC under change in law on which sponsor has a right. Based on the respective CRC orders and subsequent prudence check by LTTs, the additional annual transmission charges on account of change in law are 3.445% for PWTL, 2.787% for PPTL, and 5.226% for PJTL. I am happy to share with you that PG InvIT IPO was chosen as the Deal of the Year for Asia in the category Best of South Asia at Finance Asia Achievement Awards 2021. The IPO was shortlisted as one of the finalists Deal of the Year Financial Award at the 2021 S&P Global Platts Global Energy Awards. These awards are presented on a global stage. Thank you so much, and now I would like to hand over to the moderator for further proceedings.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Anyone who would like to ask a question, please press star and one at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from DM Capital. Please go ahead.
Yes. Good morning, ma'am, and congratulations on a good set of numbers. My first question is this on treasury income. This is the first time we are hearing this kind of income stream in an InvIT. What is the taxation impact, and can you please throw some more light on this, this particular stream of
which income?
Treasury income. Treasury income. You are
Okay.
using 0.01 as treasury income, right? We haven't heard this particular way to distribute dividend.
Okay.
Can you please throw some light on that? And what is the taxation impact on the hands of individual or institution on this particular item?
On the this treasury income is because of the money which was there in the CLTD account for a shorter period, and it has accrued. Now this is a very small amount of 0.01 rupees, and tax on which has already been paid for in it.
Okay, understood.
It has already been paid.
Just to supplement to our chairman, this treasury income we are first is paying the maximum marginal rate of around 42.7% on this income, and the distribution against this treasury income is not taxable in the hand of the unit holder. Thank you.
And this is not going to recur, right? This is the one-off item.
No. This again depend on the fund. If it is available in the treasury income we generate, then we will distribute, and it may occur in future quarter also.
Understood. And what are the incentive earned in the Q3 FY22?
Incentive for this quarter is 108 million, and for this up to Q3 is 273 million.
So lastly, you're looking to acquire Vizag by Q3 FY22, by Q4, right? And secondly, there is a second stream of revenues you're trying to acquire is based on CERC order, right? What is the total outgo of this rough number, a ballpark number, and when are you looking to raise debt, and at what and have you spoken to are we in touch with the money markets to figure out at what price we can raise this debt? Any ballpark number?
Actually, on these are the extra income given because of the change of law, as well as the 26%. It will be based on the valuation. We've already appointed a valuer, so only after the valuation is there we can give you the figures. Number two, some certain amount has been retained in the SPVs to acquire this extra income.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
And what will be the cost to fund these assets, in your opinion, based on the current money market rates?
I couldn't get you. Can you come out more clearly?
What would be the cost of debt to buy these assets?
Actually, certain money is already there in the SPVs to take care of this 26% stake. And as I said, the PG InvIT has a very good credit rating. So in case we need to raise the debt, it will be at a very competitive as compared to Powergrid. In line with Powergrid rates.
Understood. Thank you, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Swarnim Maheshwari from Edelweiss Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for the opportunity and congratulations for a stable performance. So my first question is, if you can just elaborate a bit on the growth visibility for FY23/24.
Okay. As I said, for this year, we are looking for the acquisition of the extra income being generated by the SPVs on account of change of law. Second is the 26% stake in the PVTL, which has completed the mandatory 5 years lock-in period. And then going forward, as you have heard, the Powergrid has already been given the asset monetization target for the coming years, which includes 22 to 23 is about 7,500 crore, 24 is 15,000 crores, and 25 is 15,000 crore. So we will be actively looking into such offerings in the market as well as some other offerings in the market.
Sure. So, ma'am, if you can just tell us whether it will be H1 FY23 or H2 FY23 about the growth, the monetization that PGCL is targeting.
Actually, that the sponsor has to come out with this plan, and only then we can make our bidding.
Okay. All right.
I think they have to start somewhere middle, but the sponsor would be in a better position to say when they are actually coming out with it.
Okay, fair enough. Ma'am, the other thing is that are there any third-party acquisitions that you guys are actively looking at? Are there any assets available?
Currently, of course, we are very open to looking at the third-party acquisitions, third-party offerings in the market. But
right.
Currently, there are, I can't place that they are very under what is under active considerations are not there right now. Nothing is there. But we are very open to acquire those assets.
Fair enough. So, in all likelihood, can we actually assume that FY23 will be broadly similar level of DPU as that of FY22, adjusting for, of course, the granularities that we had 10 months of DPU for FY22. But if you were to analyze that, will it be similar for FY23?
I think, as I said last time also, it will be on a lines of higher double digit and lower single digits. We'll continue to maintain that.
Okay. All right, ma'am.
Swarnim, just to add, this is a high single digit and lower double digit.
Yeah, lower double digit.
All right. Well, thank you so much and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rahul Marathe from ICICI Prudential Pension Fund. Please go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am, for the opportunity and congrats on the good set of numbers. So, ma'am, this question is regarding the 26% stake that we are planning to acquire in PVTL. So, what would be a typical debt, the maturity which we would be looking to issue, and secondly, what would be the IRR that we expect from this acquisition? Thanks.
Actually, it all depends upon the valuation being done for this 26%. For this, the valuer has already been appointed. So I think it will be little premature to disclose any figures as of now.
But a certain threshold that which we would like to maintain as a strategy. If you could just give some guideline on that.
We will take decision whichever is in the best interest of our unit holders.
Okay. And the debt that we would be looking, what would be the preferred maturities?
We will be looking at a long-term debt only, because I feel with the ratings we have, we'll be good enough to raise a long-term debt at a very competitive rate if so required.
Okay. Yeah.
Otherwise, we are having some money with the SPVs to use it to acquire those 26% stake.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other question, Mr. Marathe?
So that's all from my side.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Yatendra Singh from Servant Family Office. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good morning, everyone. So just one thing, see, on the distribution unit, so there is two component on the dividend side. One is taxable and other one is tax-free. So just for my understanding, wanted to understand means how do you arrive on the distribution between the taxable and the tax-free dividend?
Actually, this trust is having 5 SPVs. In these 5 SPVs, the 4 SPVs had adopted the new tax regime and where the dividend is taxable. And only one SPV, which is PVTL, is still continuing with the earlier tax regime where the dividend was tax-free. And because of the likely advantage in each case, individual were evaluated. So accordingly, the money which has been upstream from the SPV has been distributed in a tax-free dividend and the taxable dividend.
Sure. Understood.
Just to supplement the chairman, madam, we have 5 SPV. One SPV that is PVTL, Powergrid Vizag Transmission Limited, has not opted the new tax regime 115BA under section 115B. So that from that SPV we are getting a dividend that is a tax exempt. And from that SPV, whatever dividend is upstreaming to the trust, that will go to the unit holder as a exempt dividend.
Okay. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Vipul Shah from Sumangal Investment. Please go ahead.
Hi, ma'am. Congratulations for a good set of numbers. So, coming back again to the distribution per unit per quarter, so should we assume that this 3 rupees should be the steady state run rate?
As I said that we have last quarter we had 4.5 rupees and this quarter we had 3 rupees. So we are likely to maintain the same as I said, the higher single digit or lower double digit. So it will be at par with it.
Higher,
we are not seeing any major downward or upward. So it will be quite consistent.
Okay, means higher single digit can be 9 and lower double digit can be 12. So that's a very wide gap. So if you can give some, if you can still narrow it down, it will be very helpful for the investors.
On the ballpark, we can say we will try to engage into the same DPU what we have been maintaining. And for that, we are also looking for the acquisition of 26% and the further revenue generated out of change of law. So we'll try to maintain the same DPU.
And ma'am, second question relates to acquisition of third-party assets. So one of our large peers has around 56% of the debt, and they have been continuously increasing DPU. So should we assume that you will also follow the same strategy of aggressively acquiring third-party assets to increase the DPU?
Yeah, we will be.
Zero debt in it now.
Yes, definitely. In fact, we had an advantage because our sponsor is one of the largest transmission utility of India. It has a large asset base, and they also have their monetization plan. So they will be coming out. So this is one advantage. We are open to acquiring the third-party assets. Plus, it is right now the trust has no debt. So we have a lot of appetite for raising the debt and acquiring the assets more. So we are looking on all these options so that we can maintain and we can increase the GPU.
And lastly, our InvIT has the first right on the any further monetization plan by Powergrid?
It was not there in the offer document. But we feel as a trust that since it would be a preferred instrument for the sponsor, it's a ready-made instrument for the sponsor to monetize their further assets.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Rohit Acharya from CTP Investments. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity and very clear presentation and responses. I just had one follow-up on one of the comments you made, which was on the funding of the acquisition of 26% as well as the change in our claims. You mentioned that this may be funded with some internal accruals as well. But given that the debt capacity available with the InvIT, would it not be more beneficial to acquire these straight away by debt and instead of using the internal accruals?
Yeah, you are right. I said some amounts have been retained, but the final decision on the funding we will be taking closer to the deal after the valuation and all. So whatever be the best interest of the unit holders, the decision would be taken when we are near to the closing the deal.
Understood. Very clear. And again, congratulations on the numbers. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rajan P., an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
I just want to understand, like say, whenever we are having, some next assets that we will acquire, okay? So the valuation report, the independent valuation, So at what IRR we are going to acquire those kind of projects? Because, since last 2 or 3 months, GSEC yield is rising. So definitely we should be eyeing for more IRR. So that's one thing.
Yeah, these decisions we can take after the valuations are made and after the offerings are made by the third party or the sponsor. And the decision to go for the acquisition will be based on all these considerations and the market situations at that time. So it is little early to give any closing figure of IRR. So it all depends upon the market conditions at that particular time.
No, I mean, what minimum IRR we are at least expecting, irrespective of whatever the conditions be?
It should be in the same range the way we have done last time. It will be around that.
What was last time? Because there is nothing mentioned in any of our today's presentation or last investor presentation. Nothing is mentioned. I mean, 10%, 12%, any range, I'm not going to ask for exact figure, but whatever it is available.
Theo, would you like to supplement?
Just it is the valuation will be done by the independent valuer, taking into consideration the GSEC rate, beta, and all other factors. So whatever will be the deal, that will ensure that it will be a value accretive to the unit holder. Right now we cannot give the exact what would the IRR for that purpose, but certainly it will be a value accretive to the unit holder.
Okay. Thank you, and congratulations for third quarter performance. I have got one suggestion that if possible, after call you can just put a transcript of it, because every other company and InvIT and REIT put it on their website, but we just have, call recording. It will be great.
Okay.
Thank you for the suggestion.
Okay,
thank you for the suggestion. Would just like to supplement, ma'am, that we already upload our entire audio recording. The previous one is also there. You can see it on the company's website.
No.
And the link is there on the BSE and the NSE exchanges as well.
Sanjay, he's asking about the speech transcript. That I think you can upload that also.
Okay.
He doesn't want to audio ko padhna thoda mushkil hai, so he wants to see the transcript of that what I've spoken.
Okay.
Congratulations and thank you. Bye. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Prateek Kothari from Unique PMS. Please go ahead.
Hi, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Congratulations on sustained performance and distribution. Ma'am, we talked about we have some cash balance left at that trust level or some SPV. We have some accrual. Can you put a number to that? What kind of number that would be?
What kind of?
the reserves or the cash that we have lying around at our trust level and also at the SPV?
It is not very much for the quarter. We are hardly having NDCF up to Q3. I think totally put together is about 45 crore. CU, you can confirm that? Up to Q3.
Can you repeat your question, please?
How much is the retained in SPVs?
Cash.
Acha, it is about 579 crore total put together. No, not that. Not very less. 8 minutes. We don't have ready.
You are asking about the cash or you are asking about the reserves?
About cash. We mentioned that we have some cash lying around which will be used for further.
Total cash at the trust level is 579 crore. Out of that, 273 crore is cap for the distribution, and rest is with the SPVs.
Okay, so we said 580 crore is the cash we have, 275 for distribution. So rest we can utilize for further acquisition.
Rest is capped with the SPV for the working capital and some amount, as chairman said, for the future acquisition.
Fair enough. Sure. And my second question. So SPVs pay your trust, the Powergrid InvIT trust, via interest and dividends. So this quarter, about 185 crore has come in as interest and 90 odd crores as dividend. So I would assume that the trust would have given some loan to SPVs at a certain interest rate, which is what they are paying back, and the excess cash that would have been generated at the SPV level over and above this interest income will be upstreamed as dividend.
Yes.
Is that understanding correct?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Sure. Thank you so much and all the best.
Just to supplement to the chairman, madam, we have net profit in all the SPV. All the SPVs are generating the net profit, and that net profit is upstream in the form of dividend. And as you already mentioned that some part is against the interest, that loan extended to the SPV from the trust level. Thank you.
Yeah, fair enough. Sure. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Deval Shah from JM Financial. Please go ahead. Deval Shah from JM Financial, your line has been unmuted. Please go ahead with your question. We would request you to unmute yourself from your handset and ask your question.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
we can hear you now, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. My first question is that despite the strong asset monetization pipeline of PGCL of 7,500 crores and 15,000 crores over FY22, 23 and 24, since we do not have any ROFO on this assets, will these assets get monetized through a competitive bidding process?
See, this actually what I feel at a trust level that this is an instrument created by the sponsor. So this should become, although we don't have a ROFO, but this may be a preferred instrument for the sponsor.
Okay.
Because we have a shortened turnaround and the existing pool of assets. So, but the sponsors would be in a better position to give you an insight on it.
Okay, got it.
But we feel that we will be a preferred instrument, preferred vehicle for the monetization.
Okay, fine. My second question is, can you throw some light on the upcoming TBCB pipeline over next 2 to 3 years? And are we planning to bid for under construction assets?
That right now we were focusing on the acquisitions of our sponsors, but we are open to it and we look into it. But immediately there are no projects in pipeline.
Okay, so we are not evaluating any TBCB opportunities currently.
Not currently.
Okay, thank you. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ravish Chandra, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, ma'am, and congratulations to all of you for the consistent and steady DPU distribution. Basically, investor as a individual, we are looking into that. What I feel, see, today, PG Unity, we are in a totally debt-free and with the 7,500 crores or something AUM. I think it's the right time when there is a rate of interest is around hovering around the 7% everywhere. If you double this AUM to something like 15,000 or 20,000 crores as it is possible, obviously the DPU will have more stabilized and chance of growing, because today without debt it's possible to pay at almost 3 rupees per unit per quarter, means 12 rupees per annum rate. So with the 7% or 8% debt, making double the AUM, obviously we'll have more confidence on DPU for the long term. I know that you are looking at acquiring more from Powergrid, but my hunch is Powergrid might have to go with the auction, and maybe there'll be a competitor also for acquisition. Maybe you can throw some light on this, ma'am.
Yeah, you are right that we have a lot of headroom for acquiring the assets completely through debt, because we are debt free, so another 20,000 crore assets we can acquire, and we feel that we will be the preferred vehicle for Powergrid because it will be a ready-made instrument available and they will go. But in case they decide to go for the competitive bidding, we'll strongly pitch in the competitive bidding.
Perfect, ma'am. I think everything is good. I think a lot of improvement is there in the second call. I have attended the first call also in the November. Only my small request, I know it is a public sector and you have some restriction to speak, but that word what you are using, higher single level, single digit and the lower this one, people get jittery and next day in the share market unit rate comes down. Because you are saying that it is 9.99 to the 10 rupees. It is not 9.99 to 10 rupees. You have already shown a consistent growth of 12 per unit. You are not giving guidance for the next year. Okay, that is your policy, and I'm abide with that one. But I'm requesting maybe you have to put in the board, and this sentence maybe you have to remove from the next call. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, we'll look into it, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Swati Junjunwala from VT Capital. Please go ahead.
My questions have been answered. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Vipul Shah from Sumangal Investments. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so my question is, all these SPVs have a 35-year agreement, if I'm correct. So what will happen after 35 years? So what will be the terminal value of these assets?
Actually, all these SPVs currently have they bid out for 35 years with a license accorded by CRC for 25 years, renewable for another 10 years. Now, when the time the projects were, the initial these TBCB projects were, this was build, own and operate. So certain residual value is taken, but as you know, the transmission assets life is considered, because for the depreciation point of view, there are assets which are running for even quite some time. So we expect that this assets will continue to serve even after the 35 years of life, and the tariff would again be fixed by the regulator. But things are not very clear as of now. But certainly they have, though technically their life has been shown as 35, but there are many assets currently under operation which have served more than this.
So what, in your opinion, should be the average life of an asset?
So actually, it depends upon asset to asset and the equipment to equipment, and many times the entire asset doesn't become bad, needs replacement. Only few elements or few equipments are changed, and then it again serves.
So should we assume that at the end of 35 years, with some modification, these assets will become functional and their contracts will be again extended with some changes?
Yeah, we expect so.
Okay. And my earlier participant also pointed out, so whenever next call is held after the earnings announcement for next quarter, we request board to consider a firm DPU guidance. Means you should quantify whether it will be 2.75 per quarter or 2.5 rupees per quarter or 3 rupees per quarter. That will give a lot of clarity to investors.
Okay. Okay. Point well taken.
Please consider our suggestion, ma'am.
Yeah,
Please
definitely. Definitely. Thank you so much for your suggestion.
Thank you very much, ma'am, and all the best for the future.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Anshuman Ashit from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity and congratulations on a stable quarter. My first question is on the NAV at the end of Q3. Could you please give us the details on that?
What?
The NAV at the end of Q3.
I can ask Purushottam if you have understood the question. Can you reply, please? See you.
As per the SEBI guidelines, valuation is being done for the half year basis. Since we have not taken any valuation report for this quarter end, so we are not in a position to give you the exact NAV.
Okay. Now my next question is yes. The next question is on the acquisition pipeline X of PGCIL assets. So can you please give us some details on what all assets are on offer for the next 2 years, X of what we have from PGCIL?
Okay. PGCIL has been given a target of 45,200 crore till 2025, out of which in FY22, 7,700 has been completed. For the next FY23, it is 7,500 crore. For FY24, it is 15,000 crore. And for FY25, again, it is 15,000 crore. So 37,500 crore is still in the pipeline for the target pipeline for Powergrid.
Okay. But apart from Powergrid, are there any other opportunities, let's say from some private players, which you are mapping, which you are eyeing to participate in? And if there is any number which you can put on it?
I don't have those numbers right now, but we are certainly very keen and we are open to acquire the third party assets also as and when they come in the market based on the evaluation.
Okay. My final question is on the acquisition of PVTL, 26% which we are doing in this quarter. So will the acquisition, the value, will it be greater than 5% of the total AUM, and will we require the unit holders approval for that?
Actually, we already have a policy of going to the unit holder for certain specific acquisition number. I think it is 5% of the asset, and as and when the value comes out, and we will take the approval in line with the policy declared.
Okay. That answers my question. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rajan Patadia, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Actually, I want to know the tax rate of our individual SPVs, PVTL, PKATL, PPTL, PWTL, and PJTL. I mean, percentage tax rate, actually. Because okay. I think one of our SP is having higher tax rate. That's why dividend is exempt of certain kind. So it will be great if you tell me exact tax rate they are paying.
Okay. CEO, will you like to answer this question?
For there are 5 SPV and 1 SPV PVTL has not opted that 115 CA. So there is a MAT rate of tax right now, and rest is where this new tax regime was given, that is around 25%, 25%.
So all 4 SPVs are having 25%, and what is the PVTR? It's more than 25, right?
No, it is less than 25%.
Okay. If I got any other question, I will ask subsequent. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for today. I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Rahul and your team, and thanks again to all the participants for attending this call. It was very heartening to see such a good participation, and few suggestions also came up in spite of being at the peak of the result season. We believe that with our strategy to achieve a focused business model with operational efficiency while capitalizing on the value accretive growth through acquisitions and an efficient capital structure, we should be able to provide consistent, stable and visible returns to our unit holder. Thank you once again, and we look forward to speaking to you on a regular basis. Thank you so much.
Thank you. On behalf of ICICI Securities Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.